Welcome to Home Fashion Technologies. In this video, we'll be demonstrating how to install the split barn doors. One of the unique features with our barn doors is the dual magnet system, with two per door, one near the top and one just below the center. When closed together, is strong enough to allow you to move both doors simultaneously in either direction with a single handle. Of course, they pull apart easily by pulling the handles in opposite directions. Other nice features include pre-installed brackets at the top of both doors that the rollers will attach to, as well as a pre-cut groove at the bottom of the door that the floor guides at the bottom will slide through, keeping the doors from swaying in or out. Before beginning the installation, ensure you have all of the required parts, which will include, of course, the two doors, installation instruction sheet, 5 lag bolts and spacers, 4 rollers with 8 screws, 2 door handles with 8 screws, 2 sets of optional door guides with 2 screws each, drywall anchors and door stops, and the long black metal rail. If any parts are missing, contact Home Fashion Technologies directly at this email address or these phone numbers and we'll send them to you immediately. Tools for this project will require a drill with a 9/32 and a 3/16 drill bit, as well as a Phillips drill bit, number 2 Phillips screwdriver, tape measure, pencil, 4-foot level, step ladder, stud finder, an adjustable wrench or 10, 12, and 16 millimeter sockets. Paint or stain for optional 1x6 header board if required. To begin, ensure that the floor is level. If it's not, take note of the highest point relative to the door opening. Next, measure the width of the door opening from the top left to the top right and mark the center point. Now measure and mark 86¼ inches from the floor to above the door opening. Now use the level as a straight edge and mark a line to the left and to the right of the center point you marked. Next, using the metal rail, we're going to measure the distance between the center hole and the hole to the left, and then to the far left, as well as to the right and then the far right. Write these down on a piece of paper because we'll be transcribing these to the horizontal line we put above the door opening in the last sequence. These will be used for making all 5 pilot holes for the metal rail above the door opening. Now drill the 5 pilot holes, ensuring that you hit wood behind the sheetrock on the center hole, as well as the 2 holes immediately adjacent on the left and the right of the center hole. If you don't hit wood on either or both ends of the rail, you'll need to use the drywall anchors for those. Tap the anchor in fully, ensuring that it's flush with the wall. Next, insert the first lag bolt into the center hole of the rail through the spacer with the large end of the spacer facing the wall. Now position the screw in the rail over the center hole that you drilled a pilot hole for, and then tighten it using the 12 millimeter socket. Make it fairly tight, but just loose enough to give a little bit of play so that when you install the remaining 4 lag bolts, you're able to re-level along the way. Next, we'll install the handles, so we'll need to remove the shrink wrap from both of the doors and align the handles where the red dots are. Now screw in 4 screws for each handle. You might find it helpful to drill a small pilot hole with a drill bit smaller than the size of the screw and only go a little ways into the wood. Do not go all the way through the door. Next, we'll attach the wheels to the brackets with the wheels facing down. Tighten both bolts per wheel by hand. Then use the 16 millimeter socket to fully tighten. With the wheels attached to both doors, now lift the left door with the handle on the far right and align the grooves of the wheels with the rail and slide into position. Do the same with the right door, and then push both together toward the center position. The next step is to install the door bumpers to keep the door on the left and the door on the right from going beyond the edge of the rails. Align the bumper such that the screws are facing toward you, slide it onto the rail, and then put it into position by aligning the edge of the door to the edge of the opening, and then tightening down the stopper. Finish tightening using the 10mm socket. Our final step is to install the door guides on the bottom to ensure that the wheels at the top remain within the grooves and that the door won't sway in or outward at the bottom. Place the floor guide on the floor at the bottom where the bumper meets and ensure that the door will slide onto it. Then mark both holes with a pencil and drill pilot holes for both. Finally, secure both guides by screwing in both screws on both the left side and the right side, and then rolling the doors on the left and the right toward the center to ensure that all is working properly.